Guys.
Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, and good night.
Good to be back.
We have not done a live.
Feels like we've been away.
Oh, we have. Canadian Thanksgiving. Good old Canadian Thanksgiving. If you're wondering why we were a little bit light last week on bids, that is why.
We certainly were.
I think everything's working. Let us know if the stream looks okay.
Yeah.
You're streaming it.
Got a bunch of early questions in here. Early ones.
Do we have anything interesting to update people on before we take some questions?
Well, we have a ton of new product. That's for sure.
Much.
We've just. I don't think either of us really realised how much new product we had until we kind of got going with it today, and we probably could have kept going. And
there's also still some stuff in Mississauga that's coming next week too.
Yeah. We have probably 3-4 weeks of really kind of good kind of amount of testing to be done,
which is good.
Yeah, that's
always a good problem to have.
Yeah, before we start doing kind of our own thoughts. We've got some.
Before we get some, we've got some little technical series, some building series, and stuff like that to do. Are we official on our little December jaunt, or should we wait till next week?
No, we're official.
Okay,
we're official.
So December 3rd and 4th.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna go to. What would you call this? Is it like a? What is it?
It's kind of just like a golf media breakout where
it's a soft launch, obviously.
Soft launch of some new product. We get a chance to see some.
Can we say what company it is?
I think so. Yeah, it's some new tailor-made product.
Going to the Kingdom.
Yep. So we get a chance to kind of preview and test and.
It'll be new woods, right?
And I guess it'll be everything. So it'll be everything for the 2020 season. We'll get a chance to see it, hit it, test it. We'll get a chance to talk to the engineers and the designers.
We'll film a bunch of stuff, but you won't see it at least for like a month or something.
Yeah, at least. I mean, you know the way these things go now. There's leaked pictures and all that sort of stuff. So I'm sure there'll be that. But
true.
Nick Taylor and a few Mike Gligich and a few kind of other guys will be down there. So. It will be great.
It's gonna be good. I've never been to California. You've been briefly?
First time.
Yeah, never been. Well, I've flown through LAX. That does not count.
No.
I've been on the ground there, but I haven't actually. No, it does not count. So that's exciting.
Yeah, that'll be good fun. Very, very good fun.
Why don't we dive in?
Let's dive in.
A lot of questions. You monitor the current, and I'll go back to where we started at the beginning.
Well, we've got an early one here from Ernest. Please do a definitive cold weather versus hot weather ball distance test.
That's an interesting idea.
Yeah, I mean, probably this.
We should do the cold one here and go to California and do the warm one.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I mean,
how would we do that in an actual controlled setting?
I know. Tricky.
Aside from freezing, putting some in the fridge and some in a heater.
Yeah. No, we'll need to discuss that one.
We'll have to discuss it. Like we can simulate it through the algorithm on Foresight the same way you can do with altitude, but I have no idea how accurate that is.
Yeah, I mean, we obviously, the limitations we have to ball testing, so we can get some speed, some launch and spin numbers, but we do lose out on aerodynamics. Yep. We certainly know that. So. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see.
It's a good question, though. It really is. I think most people are familiar with, you go out on a cold day, your clubs don't go as far.
Yeah.
But it would be interesting to know what's that percentage? Because the altitude, those tour pros, they know the percentage, whatever it was. I think it was 15 when they were in Mexico City or whatever. But
yeah, very true.
Something to think about for the future. Okay.
Very true.
It's a good question. This will be a little tough to answer maybe, but an interesting one. So our first question of the live was about wedge fitting. So Tim went to Titleist facility for a little wedge fit, 2 different grinds, same loft, average of 7 yards apart.
Where did we do that? We done that recently.
So we did it here.
Yeah.
We've done it a bunch of different ways. We did it with bounce differences.
What were the 2 wedges though? There was one that was exactly that same outcome. It was like almost a club apart, and
it was
the
spin,
only
right?
thing that was different was the bounce.
Yeah, spin and launch were different though, right? Because of the bounce.
Yeah, I think ball speed as well was one was more efficient in ball speed.
Contact point. That was a lot of it. One was like so. To Tim's question, let's assume his strike location was probably different.
Yeah. So Tim, basically, there are multiple things that go into obviously determining how far your ball goes.
Yeah, of course.
You know, strike point probably being the biggest variable here.
Yep.
Energy transfer, launch and spin, you know, that type of thing. It doesn't take too much for two shots to be seven yards apart. That's for sure.
I mean, even when we're testing here, a little bit of face angle you'll come up 5-6 yards short on a wedge shot easily.
Yeah, I must give big props actually to. There was a recent article in Golf WRX on sort of. I think it was retention of ball speed on gap wedges.
Oh, okay.
And why a lot of people kind of talk about having a set wedge, gap wedge versus a specialist wedge, and basically the article went on to talk about the value of retaining ball speed on you know, mishits, and don't think just because it's a wedge that it has to be a specialty wedge.
Sure.
And it's something we talk a lot about in here. You know,
very good point.
if you are using it for predominantly full shots, you are probably better to stick with the wedge that is going to be the most consistent on ball speed, therefore most consistent on distance output.
Yeah, and I think even players that you wouldn't normally expect, like for example, I never ever chip with my 50 degree.
Yeah.
So why do I have a Vokey in there? It would be something that I could consider, you know, going with a little cavity on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good question.
There's a question from Matthew Stank on PlaneMate update. There hasn't been much of an update, has there?
So we did the video. I'm assuming, Matthew, you've seen the video we did about 2 weeks ago. Was our first update.
Very true.
I sprained my finger rather severely playing hockey, so I haven't hit any balls until today. About 3 weeks. So 100% I'll get back into working with it.
Yeah.
I know you're a little curious to do a little bit over the off season, but I don't think we're going to make a video a week on it, but we're going to make a video every couple months and let you know. I mean, if no one saw what went on with Rory at the Skins game where he was talking about it live on TV, like
cool, eh?
that thing is legit. It really is legit. So you'll hear more from us.
It's kind of the talk of the industry right now.
100%.
Amongst coaches and sort of
100%.
people who are paying attention on Instagram. It seems like if you follow, you know, the right coaches and stuff, you can't go anywhere without hearing someone talk about it.
Yep.
Which is great.
And it just shows that it works clearly. I mean, I think if it had been splashy and didn't really work well, this would have died off by now. But if anything, I think it's intensifying in the last few weeks. So you will definitely see more from us on that. So don't worry.
Absolutely. I got Ernest one. That was a bit the
okay.
The old
let me grab this one here from early. So this is interesting. Okay. So fitted for, assuming a driver, 9 degree sub-zero flash, smoke black, and 60 grams. Okay, that's option one. Ping G410 LST, 9 degree, that's the ping shaft. They went the same distance. Flash had less spin and less ball speed. Ping had higher spin, higher ball speed. What would you go with?
What should my decision be based on? The two, swing speed, 400 RPMs difference for?
I know what I would do.
Yeah, ping.
Yeah. So the flash is going the same distance as the ping because the spin is so low. Yeah. Essentially. So a more stable ball flight in the ping and the same distance because it's got more speed. 400
RPMs the spin is not much, and 4 miles an hour ball speed is a lot.
Yeah, that's true. Good point. It'd be way harder for you to gain someone 4 miles an hour ball speed than it would be to take away 400
change
RPMs.
That, yeah.
Golf
change
ball.
Your tee height, you could potentially change that
That's a good
spin,
point.
flip that around in a heartbeat.
You could play a Bridgestone Tiger Ball and add 400 RPMs of spin. Speaking of things we did today, for all you Bridgestone fans, I'll take one more and then you go for one.
Okay.
I've seen this.
How do I purchase a TXG bag?
We got to get TXG bags.
We'll get that. We'll get those up.
Winter project. I think
we're working on speaking of that, we're working on a cool little project right now.
Yeah, so there'll be lots of TXG online initiatives over the winter, let's say. Yeah. Lots going on. Especially once the snow starts flying and all you can do is stick your face in a computer, and what else do you do, right?
Exactly. That's exactly right.
Work.
All right, let me grab one here.
Please. Good turnout.
More reviews and tests on graphite, on different graphite iron shafts. Stiff and extra stiff.
Ask and you shall receive.
So That's Alex
coming.
Carlson. Alex, we've requested a bunch from our OEM partners, our shaft manufacturer partners. So we have the steel fiber 125 coming.
Yes, we do.
We will get some sort of heavier Acra product down from Kingston.
Like the one you have, right?
Yep.
124s?
Yeah, we'll get that. We'll probably get 125 if you're going to test it. So that way we can do 120.
They actually have both?
Yeah, they have both.
Okay.
So we'll do those two. Those two would be good. Certainly, there's some good high quality tour weight stuff from Mitsubishi as well. We'll try and get. So
yeah, I saw some. What's it called? MMT.
MMT. Yep. So
Mikey's going to get that too.
You will see that stuff coming over the next little while.
A little wedge graphite and wedge steel.
Yeah.
Comparison is coming also.
This is a good one. Let me grab this while you're looking.
Please.
From Matt, great question. Just a fun one. What old clubs gave you that wow moment?
Oh, I see that here.
Yeah. So for Matt, it was getting fit for the Titleist 983K and Pro V1 back in the early 2000s. I'm thinking it was like cheating.
You go first.
Oh, man. For me, it's a pretty easy one. And I'd kind of made a transition a year before. So I'd went from a tailor-made, it was just like a burner bubble driver, into a fire sole, which didn't feel like a big change.
Okay.
Then the following year I went into a Ping ISI.
Oh yeah, I remember those.
Remember the one with the kind of funny neck? That for me was the first like, holy moly, I'm hitting it miles further.
Really?
Miles further.
What do you think? What was it, like a spin thing or a?
That shaft that was in that Ping was so soft, and I kind of just could time this thing, and it would
Really?
oh man, I hit big like loopy hooks with it, but it went forever, and I started hitting it onto places in the golf course. I think that year I went from, I think it was like a 12 to 2 in a season.
It's a serious year.
Just because I could drive it so much better. And then probably the next thing was the next change I made in Ping was going from there into a G2.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah,
Ping, they came out with the G2 and it had a Pro Launch Blue or a Aldila NV in there.
I remember that. Yep.
And that probably was the next one. Again, just hit it I hit it much straighter actually with that driver.
Because it would have been getting more stable at that point, right?
It was. That was a really good driver.
That's crazy.
That was it for me.
The first time I ever got fit for something, for a driver, I had, oh man, my memory is so bad. I had a driver, what did I have? Anyway, it doesn't matter. The driver was really spinny, it must have been. I had no idea. So I used to go for lessons. Remember when Golf Town had a lesson, little bay at the back? So I went for a lesson and they had a vector launch monitor.
Yeah.
So I was hitting them. I think I spun my driver at like 4,000, and I didn't understand why I hit the ball nowhere, which is why I went for lessons. And then my teaching pro was nice enough, lent me it was Callaway. I think it was literally just called X. Do you remember those?
I do.
I think it was just called X.
Yep.
And then I used that, and I think my spin was, let's say, 2,400. And I literally started hitting it 35 yards further.
Yeah.
And that was the first time I looked at golf clubs a little differently, where I was like, wow, this is no joke. Like, this isn't just buy something new sort of thing. I liked that driver quite a bit. I think I liked Callaway drivers for quite a long time afterwards because of that. Like, I always remember those little like FT Fusion ones. Like, those things were so cool.
Yeah.
Like, they were so expensive. Like, I remember that thing was like $600 10 years ago or more, whatever that was, 12 years ago. But
so true.
Good
one,
question, Matt.
Like that one. More of that stuff.
Memory lane. Okay, you go right to the bottom, and I'm going to stay up at the top.
Okay.
Rob Potter Golf, we're doing well. Thanks for tuning in.
We have one from
Just saying hi to Rob.
Rob, how are you, pal?
Joe.
So Alex is asking, in fact.
Joe, hello.
Alex is asking now if you can actually maybe grab that one.
Yeah, let me grab that. For sure.
Grab that one from Alex. Can you fly to San Diego early and play Torrey Pines the weekend before? I'll put the reservation in today. Unfortunately, we're actually having to cut the trip short by a day, aren't we?
It's going to be a whirlwind tour, to say the very least.
Yeah, so unfortunately we can't, Alex. I would love to.
Would love to.
We would absolutely. What an offer that is. But you've got a little trip. You're off on vacation the day after we get back.
Yeah, so I'm on a plane 24 hours later than when we get back. So that is a great offer that I think will take maybe next year.
Maybe, yeah, definitely. We'll do that next time we hit the West Coast, Alex.
Because we'll probably be in California on the ground for like 48 hours, something like that.
Yeah, and I need to get back because Baby Fraz is imminent.
That's right.
So
it's gonna be a busy month for you.
So busy month.
It'll be good for us to go. I think I'm glad we're going, but yeah, it has to be a strictly business trip this time, Alex. But we will take you up on that next time.
Definitely.
Hopefully sooner rather than later.
This is a good one. Just below, actually, Alex's one. I've just read the first line. I think it's a good question. What should a player do? What should a player who struggles with overdrawn hooking look for on the sole grind of his irons?
That's a really interesting question.
Yeah. So generally, Ricky, the player who's getting a little bit hooky with the irons will normally, most of the time, be quite shallow.
Okay.
So right-handed golfer, the path will be probably quite sort of in to out. The face will be getting a little bit shut. Generally, there'll be a sweeper. So anytime we see those types of players, we like to reduce the sole width a little bit. We like to get into the nice narrow soles. I mean, one we've had great success with this year is the TaylorMade P760.
Really?
It's been a phenomenal iron from a sort of sole efficiency standpoint. Really cleans up a lot of kind of mishits and heavy strikes and that type of thing.
It sort of hides a lot of that for
Yeah, it does. I mean, obviously, when you're overhooking and drawing and that type of thing, look at weight of golf club. You look at the kind of shaft weight to try and help you a little bit. So you want to probably have a little bit more. I mean, take it, for you, for example, the first thing that you do when you get a club that goes too heavy, what does it do?
Yeah, it gets swoopy.
It becomes a little bit pushy out to the left for you. So you'd almost want to try and have a little bit more weight just to stabilize.
So like a swing weight if they were building a club. Someone who's too shallow, and are they going lighter in that
wouldn't
sense?
worry too much about the swing weight as such, but I would actually get the heft, get the dead weight of the club up a little bit.
Gotcha.
So get that a little bit higher.
Good question.
Yeah, very good.
Daniel, we were just talking about this. What?
Sorry, Mitchell. Mitchell's piped in there with a great pearl of wisdom. If you're hitting the ball all over the place, it's your swing, not your irons.
That's a bit your swing.
It's honest, isn't it?
It's not your swing.
It's not a lie either.
This is a priority for next year. On course vlogs.
More vlogs, yeah. Yeah, I know. I mean, the trouble we have is, I guess, there's always product. Yeah. We made a few excursions over the course of the summer, didn't we? And,
so
they're tough.
So this is the truth of it is the time investment to get probably 1 or 2 videos versus us filming here. It's very different. That being said, when you look at, and I texted you about it, when I said take the number of views versus how many comments and like the feedback, the type of comments. It's probably the most, I shouldn't say the most, but it's one of the most well-received things that we've done. So I think we just have to get more efficient at doing it. Because it's a big commitment to go. I mean, obviously we didn't have to drive to Cragburn to do it, but we did. But even going to Magna, it's a full day.
One thing we maybe should try and do then is not replace our Monday sessions.
Yes, it should be additional.
It should be an additional thing, and then like we can keep our content and keep our sort of standard quota.
I totally agree. Yeah, I want to get.
The way to do it.
I think the little formula. We only had a few holes, but like the quad being set up, numbers, all the stuff that we had, the shot tracer. I think people loved it a lot. So if we can streamline that a bit, Daniel, we will definitely get back into that. We'll try to do one in Florida when we're at the show at least. We'll try to do a little something over the winter.
Sam Elliott, to blade or not to blade? 9 handicap.
That is the question.
Probably not to blade. Probably. I would say there would be many more reasons not to than for going with a blade.
The 4 is usually just something you like, right? For the most part, with blades. Take this one really quick. Martin, yes, we have, but we have not tested them yet.
I know. That's one that is probably somewhere en route to us right now, isn't it?
Yeah. It's going to show up any day. So
big shout out to Mikey, who has been really on it when it comes to charging, getting in charge of getting all the new product in.
He's got a good line on what's really. He's got stuff that we couldn't even find online, which is great. That's really good.
Do we want to preview the putter shaft?
Yeah, 100%.
Let's grab. Wait till you guys see this. This thing it blew my mind. So hopefully you guys get a little excitement from it.
Sorry, I almost lost it. Hopefully you get some excitement from it.
Somebody will get some excitement
Somebody's
from it.
going to get
for sure.
maybe too much excitement from it. Okay, there it is. So putter head, obviously. Normal diameter.
Yep.
And that is literally the graphite.
So
shaft.
this is literally the part of the putter that you hold.
No grip.
This is a gripless shaft.
For your enjoyment. Yeah. Here's a regular putter for your reference.
So yeah, exactly. Hold those two up, and it's
Yeah.
quite amazing.
So like the thickness at the end is actually basically the same as this ping pistol, whatever the hell
I believe
it's
it's based on like the Super Stroke. It's like the 1.0 or 2.0. It was one of the two. So
It's a wild scene, this thing.
Crazy,
a wild
crazy.
scene.
So we've done a little filming with it today. We're kind of starting to, investigate what benefits that might have.
I think today was just like a little sort of just purely initial impressions.
Yeah.
Hit some putts with it, looked at the numbers. We hit some lag putts in here, which was kind of fun. Like not in the video, but you hit a bunch of these 50 footers. So it's cool.
Shock and awe.
Shock and
wasn't
awe.
it?
How does it feel to have passed the 50K subscriber?
It was a really nice.
It was. It felt good.
Nice kind of feeling to get past that 50. Yeah,
It really was.
Kind of surreal a little bit, to be honest.
That's a good word for it. If I had have said, well, I did probably say this to you. The first time we talked about doing this, I remember saying something to you like 1 year goals, something like, oh, it might be nice to get 5,000 to 10,000 subscribers after a couple of years, have a nice little fan base, and it's needless to say, it's gone beyond what either of us expected, which is good.
Yeah, I think I've never. I didn't really know anything of that YouTube world, or kind of. I didn't know what a good channel was from a bad one. I didn't know 5,000 was a lot. I remember the first time we got to 1,000. I was like, this is insane.
Remember we were in Florida when it got to 1,000? That was at the PGA show the first year.
First year, yep. And I thought that was nuts. And then 10,000 felt crazy. And then every milestone since has felt like a huge achievement. But it's funny, you kind of get a little taste for the growth, and obviously you start to go, what could this be?
Yeah.
And what could we do with it? And obviously some of the things we've been talking about recently, we're trying to push the boundaries of that to see where we could end up with this whole thing.
That's the thing. I mean, if you take the first, we're not even at 2 years yet. It's in a way felt like a little bit of a pilot project, but I think now it's probably time for it to call it a mature project at this point. It's sort of reaching its stride of it. So hopefully a little silver play button in the next year for 100K.
Would be nice, wouldn't it?
Would be nice.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'd be cool to hear from you guys as to, and you don't need to, think like it's criticism, but like, what would you guys like to see us change? What would you like to see us add? Maybe more importantly. I'd
actually be curious, especially for people that don't watch very often, or maybe just watch here and there.
Yeah.
Be curious what kind of maybe is missing.
Yeah.
Not that
video length. Would you
whatever
rather
it is.
see some short? Would you rather see some more long? What's out there? I mean, I know a lot of people kind of have asked for more collaborative stuff,
which we are planning.
Yeah, it'd be nice. I mean, we're just not in the easiest location to do that, and we're both very, very busy outside of our Mondays and that sort of thing. So
true.
It's tricky.
All right.
Keith Thompson's asking, can you make TXG putter head covers? We have them, Keith.
Yep, go to the store.
Go to the store, go to the website, and on the tabs on the top, on the far right side, go to the store, and you can see head covers, putter head covers, normal head covers.
There's at least 2 different colors of putter head covers right now.
Absolutely.
They're quite nice.
James is asking, Ian, have you ever played my home course, Royal Dornoch? I have. Yep, Dornoch's amazing.
Is it good, yeah?
Oh, it's amazing. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those. It's one of those really, really special kind of spiritual places to play golf. Yeah, it's a really, really special place to play. Phenomenal layout, just the natural kind of lay of the land. It's just amazing.
Just naturally built for it.
Yep. Yeah, it's just like it's not one of those. Well, I mean, obviously highly regarded, but it's like a North Berwick. It's not. You've got St Andrews and Turnberry, you've got your open rota, but then you've got the real kind of gems, which are Dornoch.
I hear that a lot.
North Berwick and Machrihanish, and you've got those types of ones certainly in Scotland.
The stuff that isn't on the open rota, I guess, doesn't get quite as much.
I know.
Quite as much attention.
Yep. What's that?
Joe ripping on Canadian Thanksgiving. It's about right, Joe. Yep. Timeline makes sense. I like maple syrup. I didn't even have. Did you have a Thanksgiving? No, you were away. I was away.
I was in Disneyland. I celebrated it. With
Someone
nice.
Someone asked you how your trip was. You don't need to ask him. It was good. He's never had a bad time.
Never had a
never
bad
will.
time at Disney. No, it was awesome. We done Disney 3 days, Universal 1 day. Literally at Disney, the latest we got up every day was 5:30.
Stop it. Time's the park
You have
open?
to. So because we were staying in the parks, so you get the extra magic hours. So the park opens at 7.
Oh, for you specifically?
Yeah. Hollywood Studios, because of the new Star Wars land, opens at 6.
Get out of here.
Opens at 6. So we were there before the park opened.
Yeah.
And there was I think it was about an hour and a half wait to get on the Millennium Falcon ride, Smuggler's Run.
Was it worth it?
I was a wee bit disappointed.
Oh, really?
A wee bit.
Did you like that Avatar thing better?
It's amazing.
That
way
video
better.
you took was like, I was like, what is that?
It's nuts.
But
to be honest, so that whole Pandora sort of land is impressive, but what they've done with the whole Star Wars land is better.
It's better.
Yeah, but the actual ride in Avatar is better than Star Wars.
You heard it here first.
Go do it.
I'm way behind.
Let me grab some stuff here.
Yes, please.
How much stiffer is the X7? That's a good one you can answer from Rick. How much stiffer is the X7 versus the C-Taper?
How much stiffer is it? Oh, we measured it on the CPM thing.
We measured it on the CPM, didn't we?
Yeah.
So I think for us, we found that Dynamic Gold X100 was the softest.
Yes.
Then it was C-Taper. Then it was Project X 7.0.
Yeah.
Then it was X7. So I think there was about 8 cycles between
that does sound about right.
C-Taper and X7. So quite a difference.
It's stiffer.
Yeah. Yep. The funny thing is, I would actually say most people will tell you C-Taper feels like a pole or rebar, whatever you want to call it. Most people, when they hit X7, go, man, this doesn't feel that stiff.
Really?
It has a really interesting feel to it.
It's different for sure. I agree. It's very different. X7, really what I notice is that the diameter of the shaft is bigger. So I think that kind of skews your opinion of it. But
Yep.
Let's take this really quick because it's been asked multiple times. What are your...
Love Joe.
Oh, what's he saying about
Joe's saying, I love how you guys have grown without getting clickbaity like a lot of big golf YouTube channels. I don't want to watch you hit a ball through a watermelon. That's so true, isn't it?
Thank you, Joe.
Yes. We're just not going to hit a 500cc driver. It's just not going to happen. I
mean, I must say from like week 1 or 2, I remember saying to you, I have no tolerance for just kind of stuff like that. I just can't stand it.
I mean, honestly, we could, but I don't think we're doing ourselves justice in what we offer justice. I get that it's fun, but that's why there's lots of channels.
Yeah, there's no shortage of it.
That's why, if that's entertainment and that's funny, and you want to do that, there's lots of places you can get it. There's guys who do crazy trick shots. You guys were telling me about that lad, GM Golf, who does the Stinger trick shots. Like that kid's wicked, absolutely wicked when it comes to that stuff.
That's why you follow that guy.
Yeah, but we're gonna offer something different, so you'll kind of have your little hotspots for whatever you like, but. You'll just not find that here.
Well, it's just YouTube is its own thing, thumbnails and titles and stuff. But in the end, you have to enjoy what you're doing.
Josh is asking for build video, please. Build videos. Yeah, we know. We absolutely know. We're the build shop is under construction. As soon as that is ready to go, you'll see some of the coolest stuff. You'll see builds from start to finish. You'll see explanations of different builds versus swing weight versus MOI matching versus frequency matching, hot melt. We've got a little list.
You got a nice list.
Haven't we? Yeah. with tons of good stuff coming.
We're not. We're not. It's not for lack of wanting to. It just has
Yeah.
to. When the shop is ready, we'll do it. Quickly, what are your top 2 wedges from this year? What do you find most people leaving the shop with? Mizunos?
Good question. We just killed it with S18 this year.
Yeah. So S18 was a big highlight.
Huge. For us, I mean,
It's got to still be pings, eh? Like the pings must still be.
Yeah, Glide 3.0 since I guess a lot of people who come here now are coming through the YouTube channel or maybe found us and watched the YouTube channel.
Are people making you spray their wedge?
Did you just say this is what
You're
it's
like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Fair
enough.
Ping it as well. But I mean, I think as we transition, I think Mac Daddy 5 is going to be huge. I think that's going to be really, really interesting.
It's a good looking wedge, though.
It really is, yeah. I'm trying to get my hands on a little set of the raw ones.
Oh, really?
Yeah, trying to get some.
We got to get those in for your little wedge fitting video. Because I have a feeling those will be suitable for you.
Yeah, agreed.
All right.
That's funny.
Go for it.
Temporal is saying he's been using a $60 driver for the past 6 months. As his swing speed has went up, his driver distance has gone down. Every time he middles the driver, the ball only goes about 180 yards. I had one of the most interesting experiences from a fitting standpoint at Turnberry when I worked there. And kid walked in and he was swinging the driver about 114, 115.
Quick.
And he was hitting the ball about 210.
What?
He was using just like a supermarket driver, and you could just see this thing. It was like bending like crazy. He just couldn't hit anywhere near the middle of the face, and his driver's distance went from 210 to 330. Picked up 120 yards in the fit.
It's got to be like your all-time.
Oh, easy.
I mean, how else could you find more?
You're just never going to. That's the alignment of all your fitting stars, is to get somebody with speed who has the worst driver they could possibly find for them.
Yeah. Or one that sounds like it may actually be broken.
I know.
By the sounds of it.
Yeah.
Mizuno Shaft Optimizer. We have a 25-minute video about it, Simon. It was useful. Chris Vishal was here from Mizuno, helped us go through the process. If I recall, the recommendations it made were pretty close to what you had fit me for. So yes, it is definitely good to shortlist shafts for your fitting.
Bobby is asking, does obnoxious stamping on your wedges make you play better? Absolutely.
Are you a big fan of obnoxious stamping?
100%, yeah, gotta get it.
I don't have anything stamped. I feel like I'm left out.
Yeah,
to go
100%,
see Mikey.
get involved.
I'll have to go see Mikey for that stuff.
Get involved. Let's see.
Let's take speaking of collaborations. Dan was asking, what YouTube channels do you like? Is this camera crooked or is it just me?
I don't know.
It's just bothering me. Yeah, it looks crooked.
Who is good? To be honest, I watch boxing YouTube channels.
Yeah, you love boxing YouTube channels. Okay, I'll chime in.
I don't really watch it.
So the one that at some point we have to collaborate with, obviously Golfholics. That's going to happen.
Yep.
The only reason it didn't is a variety of things that just didn't quite align, but we will do it. Have you seen the guy? He lives in Thailand. He's South African and golf Sidekick. No. That guy cracks me up. We have to do something with him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's hilarious. He basically, I don't know how long he's been doing it. A year or two? All on-course vlogs, does tips as well. I think he just films them with his phone, but that he's a laugh.
Is he?
You have to do something with his. I honestly found myself literally sat and watched videos before. There's something very relaxing about them. I don't know what it is, but no one to criticize. We keep an eye on everybody, but in terms of what we'd actually sit and watch, I don't watch a ton of golf. YouTube stuff for leisure.
You got to remember, like the people who are. So when other channels are reviewing products, we've probably already hit it.
100%.
Or seen it or heard about it, and not to kind of blow our own trumpet, but we've probably made our own assumptions by that point, and we're okay to move forward with those.
Well, for us to go and watch a club review would be pretty unlikely. That's why, like, when I'm talking about with that golf sidekick, it has nothing to do with club reviews at all. It's just golf, basically. So stuff like that, I'll watch here and there.
Yeah.
But YouTube, I'm like you. I watch other stuff. Like I'll watch other videos, watch other sports highlights and stuff. But
maybe let us know who's good. I mean, who's doing good stuff out there. I mean, other than the mainstream guys that are just
what do you guys? Who you guys keep an eye on?
To watch? I mean, give us your sort of top 3 ones that maybe we wouldn't know of or wouldn't have
It's
heard
interesting
of.
when you ask someone that watches our channel what else they watch. It's interesting what the other couple are, because you'll find there's kind of like parallels in there. So leave that. If not in the chat, leave that in the comments for us.
Absolutely. Alfred is asking if I have ever played in Sweden, and if so, what course, and what did you think? I've never played in Sweden. I would love to go to Sweden. I'd love to go to Sweden.
The course that they played just this past, is it called the Swedish Open? Nordic?
Was it the one
Scandinavian Masters?
Yeah, it might be in the Scandinavian
Was that in
Masters.
Sweden?
Yeah, it might be.
Whatever that course was,
Yeah,
I thought that looked amazing. I'd love to play there.
I'd just love to go to Sweden.
Yes.
I would absolutely love to
Norway
go to Sweden.
and a little kind of Scandinavian tour.
Yeah, that'd be tremendous.
It's a nice part of the world.
Yep.
I'm just gonna take. If you have one, go. I'm hunting. I had one.
Ollie is asking, why does my hybrid go left? My normal shot is a fade. I'm a 7 handicap and play an H1 818. Should I change the settings? Yep, definitely. Definitely go towards the kind of, if you're right-handed, Ollie, go towards the kind of B1, C1 range on the SureFit chart. That'll certainly help with the lie angle and obviously the face angle. So I think that would probably help a little bit. I think your bigger problem might be that you are in the wrong head. You might need to go towards the H2, flip that CG cartridge into fade. So true. play that, a little bit further forward. CG will stop the rotation.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. A couple people asking about Wilson. Remember we tried those? I think it was it V6s that we tried?
Yeah, it was great.
Or FG something?
Yep.
Is that better or worse?
Keep going. A bit more.
More?
Yeah, a bit more. That's good.
Those were really good. I don't know if they're getting replaced.
Yeah, I mean, we were for a little while there. We had good access to the Wilson stuff. We were getting some good stuff, and then
to be honest,
we've not had too much.
They never sent us a left-handed Cortex driver, and that made us sour. I wanted to try it. But yeah, I'm sure they'll have something at the show. We can.
I'm sure they will. Yeah, coming up for the PJ show, and we're starting to kind of.
A few months, right?
We've got some ideas as to how we're going to do some different stuff, don't we?
We sure do. Actually, we probably should chat about that before we leave.
Yep. This is brilliant from Scott K. Will you invest in a shaft purifier machine?
Yes. And an air purifier.
I'd like to see some data of shots with and without from you guys. Well, yeah.
Two-part question.
We probably will.
Yeah.
We probably will.
Well, you're going to, for sure, endorse that process.
Yeah.
The process of proving whether it works, I can only imagine that wouldn't be the easiest thing in the world, right? Because you need something out of alignment. It needs to be robot tested because there's no way in hell you can make a swing similar enough. But hello, Michael.
Michael.
Hopefully you caught us singing your praises.
I know. Hope you got the big shout out earlier on. Big thank you for getting all this new product that we've been testing all day.
So good.
It's really good.
Love it. We love new stuff.
Michael's dying at home after his F45 class today.
That's right, yeah.
Sent me a picture. Have you seen Wolf of Wall Street?
Yeah.
The part where he thinks he's driving home from the club.
He's crawling out of the car, yeah.
He's literally crawling into the car. Sent me that one earlier on. Apparently that was Michael when he left the gym this morning.
It is intense, the F45.
It is.
Some requests.
This was an interesting one. From Daniel, thoughts on Stroke Lab 10?
It's over there.
We have it. Next week we will do a head-to-head. We'll do a Stroke Lab 10 versus Spider.
Yeah.
Head-to-head.
We wanted the exact same neck style, so we have both, but they were different necks, so not really fair.
We want to do it as close as we can possibly do it. Yeah.
Yep. Rob Potter's down to a 9.2 handicap.
Attaboy,
Congrats,
Rob.
bud. That's awesome.
It's awesome.
Single digits. That's a good accomplishment.
That is it's a really good accomplishment. But
It
you
is.
deserve it. You work hard at it.
He does. What is the most anti-left, anti-hook, I'm assuming, driver head?
I mean, I tell you what, it's pretty tough to turn over that LS Tech once you flatten, open, and put the weight,
That's very true.
the weight in the toe.
You think that's it? It was Rogue last year, I thought, Sub-Zero. Like last year, that Rogue, I remember hitting that, and I don't remember hitting any draws with it.
I mean, by virtue of the amount of face angle adjustment with the M5,
That's true.
I mean, you can literally set that thing 4 degrees open
That's true.
with twist face. It kind of makes it look more open, put the weight in the toe. I mean, that is a tough thing. If you set that thing all the way open, it's pretty tough to hit
not going
snappers with that.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
true. Well, if you look at their tour staff, like Tiger doesn't want to hit it left, DJ, Brooks, Rory. Well, Rory hits more of a draw, but still. Good question.
Yeah.
We'll take, I'm not going to pull up because there was a million questions. A lot of people are asking if they can only come to one fitting, whether they would come to a driver fitting or a putter fitting. What would you prioritize?
Whatever you're worst at, but if it was, if it was somewhat equal and you were kind of, torn,
Yep.
I like to start off the hole on the right foot.
Yeah, off the tee. That's a good. I think for enjoyment's sake. I mean, obviously, missing every putt is infuriating, but losing a ball on every tee is worse. I think it's worse.
I just think if you hit it good and get up to the green and you have good days and bad days with the putter, those come and go. But
Yeah,
I just think you have to drive it, reasonably well in order to play the game and get the
Totally
enjoyment out of it.
Yep, totally agree. Bubba says hello from the Aloha State. Aloha.
Bubba.
See you in 2 months. Aiden's asked us a couple times. Let me grab this. I feel like he's asked. Okay, quick swing speed, +2, very good player. 165, try to hit 4 yards. Miss is a pull left. Interesting. So he's got an IZ6X. It's a toughie. It's a tough question.
Probably miss is a pull left.
Pull left is usually more of a path. If it's
Face.
a straight pull.
Yeah, if he's that neutral and his shot turns into a pull, it's all face.
It's all face.
Yeah. So I mean, some of the drivers we were just talking about that are very anti-left. I mean, those are going to be good. IZ's not particularly tip stiff.
No. I have it in my 3-wood, and I find that it's easy to hit a draw with.
Yeah, you can. It's definitely fairly soft in the tip. I would say probably getting into a driver with a little bit more protection on that sort of face rotation.
You think the shaft is going to be tough? Like he might spend $500 on a shaft, and it might not do as much as
offsetting the face angle.
the face angle, okay.
Definitely, and influencing the face to rotate a little less.
Gotcha.
So something like TS3 with weight cartridge in the toe set on kind of B1 C1 somewhere in that region would be nice.
Good point. From the Thunder Weasel.
It's a great name.
Yeah, it really is. Caught my eye. Why don't we try other brands of Farrow Woods like Adams or Tour Edge?
Adams have went the way of the dodo.
Adams doesn't exist, but Tour Edge was requested many times. They never sent us anything, so if you want to see it, ask them why they didn't send them.
The best one, I had a back and forward with one of our viewers the other day, and he's like, in your Farrow Wood fit, why didn't you try the F8 Farrow Wood?
From last year?
I'm like, it was last year's. He's like, well, it's on Amazon. I'm like, well.
Ian, didn't you buy it? That's hilarious.
Yeah.
It's a lame excuse.
It's on
Amazon. Free, Prime, next
I know.
day.
Could
Probably could have showed up at 9 o'clock at night if you ordered it in the morning.
But if I didn't like it, I would have wasted my money.
That's true. Their return policy is excellent, let me tell you. From Patrick, our pal.
Patrick?
Yes, we will get back into the simulator for sure.
Oh,
By nature of the poo-poo weather that's coming.
If it's
The hinge isn't available, unfortunately.
Is it not?
But there's many other Linksy type
Lots,
places. But yes, we'll get back in there. I think as long as product time, we'll call it, is heavy, we probably won't be doing much of that. But if we get into a little bit of a point where
starts to slow a little bit.
Yeah, we'll play some fun golf. It is a laugh doing that.
Yeah, it's good fun. We enjoyed it, don't we? We used to kind of start our day with a little.
Well, it's good. It's a good way to start.
I know.
It is. It loosens you up. It's fun.
Yep.
A little bit of banter. Steven, thank you for the comment. Yeah, that's a good topic for a video, I think, actually.
It would be great.
Just talking about managing your budget. So basically,
yeah,
how you can get fit.
I think that's a fantastic idea.
I think we could almost do a little series on that. So basically, like, how could you get custom fit on a brand you want and sort of keep your budget within the window you're looking for?
It's like anything else, you know. If you're on a budget and you're looking for new skis, you're probably going to try and buy them in the summer.
Yes.
You know, you're coming into the season where you're going to start to pick up those bargains. You know, lightly used clubs and coming into this time of year. So, you know, you can still be optimized with that particular set, you know, or something similar. So maybe get a fit. Get a rough idea as to what you need and then apply your budget towards that.
I think that's a really good idea. Yeah, I think too many people assume you go for a fitting, you're buying at the end of it.
Yeah.
There's no reason why you can't just go for a fitting, say thanks for your help, and you paid your money. It's not like you stole someone's time and then go buy whatever you want.
Absolutely, or working on kind of piecing it together over time.
Yeah, good point.
Things like that, you know.
Good point. Aiden, no worries. You got your question? Not spam. That was a good question.
It was a good question, Aiden.
I'm going to take this too, because
That's a great question.
Great question.
It's a great question.
Okay, so toe up versus toe down, talking about dynamic lie. I don't have a driver to show. Does it matter? And what do you see, like when you're fitting people, what do you see more often? I asked you about it earlier today because I don't know what I was hitting, but I had something set up, I think I was like 5-6 degrees toe up.
Yep.
And then we made some changes, different head, I was like 3 degrees toe up. So a driver being dynamically toe up or toe down versus a 50-degree wedge.
Yeah.
Is it less of an issue? Like you don't look at it basically?
Well, what basically is happening when we're talking about dynamic lie angle adjustments is it's a measurement of the plane of the loft.
Yes.
Right. So the less loft you have, the less it matters.
So your phone analogy, right? So if you're here, if you're here and then you tilt it.
So even if you flip it around sort of that way.
Right.
So if you've got 0 degrees of loft. And you tilt 0 degrees that way or that way. It doesn't matter. You're not tilting anything.
Right.
You're tilting a zero plane, so it doesn't have any effect. You're not shifting the plane of anything. Whereas if you take a 60-degree wedge and sort of take that and then you start tilting that one way or the other, you're severely tilting the plane of that face.
So when it comes to the driver, if let's say you're way toe up and you are hooking it.
Yeah.
Yes, you'll probably help your ball flight going flatter, but not as much as a wedge.
It doesn't not matter.
Yeah, it doesn't not.
Right, but it's something that we would sort of use as one of many sort of ways to adjust your ball flight. So, like we always talk about, you never attack a problem with just one adjustment. You try to compound those adjustments.
Yes.
So you try to get a shaft, a weight setting, a face angle, a head bias from a CG perspective. If I'm really trying to fix someone's ball flight that's kind of getting away from them, I'm coming at it from 5 or 6 different ways, and 5 or 6 1 or 2% is going to compound to become a significant impact and make a big improvement.
The sum of the parts, right?
Yeah.
I just want to grab those super chats.
From Benoit,
From our pal, Lefty SoCal Drive. We don't have any time to meet Lefty, unfortunately.
No,
we'd like to.
We would love to. I mean, we would like I don't know. It's tough.
It's a trip that we almost weren't going to do, and we're really squeezing it in.
I know.
But it will not be the last time we come to California, I can promise you. I'll probably get off the plane and look for a house. I'm sure I'll be in love with it, let's be honest. There's another one in there that I need to get to. Stand by.
Oh, you got a bit to go.
Oh, yeah, it's right. Holy mother. Oh, here we go.
There you go.
Okay, from Benoit.
How many P730s or P70 dubs
have
you fitted? How skilled are the golfers you fit? Very skilled. And we've done less than 10 sets.
Really?
Yeah. Less
Not
than 10.
many people just going, I want a P7 TW
Yeah,
set?
we've done 4 or 5.
Novelty
Yeah,
kind of thing?
yeah. And so they're both great irons. I mean, as far as blades go, they're both absolutely
nice.
gorgeous. Been phenomenal. We've actually started to add to the blade count in the drawer.
You really have?
Yeah, we've added a few more recently. The new Mura MP101s are about as nice as you know an iron can be. I love the look of the new Titleist blade.
I also like those.
Yeah,
Both available in lefty.
Yep, Z forged from
Those are nice.
Strixon are gorgeous as well. So beautiful.
It's funny that category is kind of, it's growing in a way, isn't it?
Appears to be.
From Josh. Good question from Josh. Very technical. So thoughts on an ascending mass graphite iron shaft set?
Yeah, I think ascending mass in any graphite or steel is I love that as a concept. I'm not a huge fan of parallel and descending mass shaft or sort of sets. I really prefer to stay at constant or ascending.
Ascending meaning that your pitching wedge weighs more than your 3-iron?
Yeah, so something like a Dynamic Gold AMT would ascend in 3-gram increments.
Gotcha. Ascending, ascending mass.
Exactly,
technology.
mass technology. So that would go sort of, in the 4-iron, 112 grams, 5-iron, 115, 6-irons, 118, all the way up.
Gotcha. Man, good question. That's one that, speaking of build series, that is one we will do in detail.
Yep. Thanks for that, Josh.
From Drake. Your buddy just got a TrackMan. Cool. What would you recommend for the best indoor turf?
We use a company called Synthetic Turf International. They do how many different turfs have we got? We've got 4 different turf grades in here. So we have kind of our tee line that we hit from.
Yep.
We have a putting sort of surface that's out in front. I think that was called like NP20 or something like that.
Okay.
Again, talk to these guys. And
they have so many, right?
Yeah. That Synthetic Turf International.
They would do a residential.
Job.
They do a residential.
Yeah, they
build?
do residential. They do sort of professional facilities like ours as well.
Good buddy to have with a TrackMan.
Indeed.
That'll keep you busy. Grab us one there, pal. Yeah.
Has Matty hit the Mura CB801?
Not yet.
Not yet. Hope to soon, eh?
Absolutely.
Hope to soon.
I'm honestly really surprised that they make 2 lefty irons in this latest. I'm kind of surprised, to be honest. But they must sell some. They must sell some.
Hey guys, wondering how much you can de-loft a JPX Hot Metal 4-iron. I'm looking for a strong 3. Yeah, I mean you can definitely do that. I think as standard the loft on the 4-iron comes in at about 22 degrees anyway, so you could certainly get it into that region. I would never really like to strengthen lofts more than 2 degrees. I know that's a tricky one in that because they don't make a 3-iron
in that model.
In that particular model,
so 2 degrees is fine.
Yeah. I actually had that one.
Yeah, you did. That's right. At some point, he said.
At some point, I don't know where it is.
I never saw the golf course, but a couple people. I'm literally going backwards.
Yeah,
on
Golfholics.
People chiming in about Golfholics.
The guys are doing a great job. They really are. They're such nice guys
They're
as well.
beauties. Yeah, we chat back and forth. We stay in touch. I
Yeah.
just talked to Marco the other day. Just had a baby, which is great for him and his wife.
Marco, that's awesome.
So yeah, we stay in touch. It will happen. It will happen. You just have to let the stars align.
That's a little boxing reference there. Tyson Fury, Gypsy King.
You like a little Tyson Fury?
So Tyson Fury right now is getting himself into the WWE.
Stop it.
He is. So he's on right now. He's recovering from that big his last fight.
Yeah,
he got a huge gash over his eye. So he's he got a little plastic surgery and stuff like that. So he has to take a little break. And in the meantime, he's making himself a cool 12 million by one fight. He's fighting in Saudi in December against Braun Strowman.
$12 million.
$12 million. I think Lesnar was the highest paid wrestler in the WWE, and Tyson Fury's getting more for that one fight than Lesnar gets for a year.
That's outrageous.
Wild.
Obviously, people want to see it though.
Yeah.
Yes, Joe. I have seen a lot of Peter's stuff. Peter is a Canadian guy. He makes photography, film stuff. He started literally a channel, I don't know how many years ago, but he's 4.5 million subscribers.
What? Yeah. Good for him.
I don't know this for sure, but he's one of the most successful Canadians on YouTube. He is a good guy. Maybe he'd like to learn golf. That would be an interesting little, how's that for a collaboration? You want to boost your subscribers?
Oh, no.
Yeah, see, I'm telling you, it's golf sidekick. He's got a lot of
Golf
fans.
sidekick. What's Fried Eggs Golf?
Fried Eggs Golf, his name is escaping me. He doesn't make a ton of videos.
Does he do equipment?
Sort of. I would say he's entertainment. His videos are funny. I don't know if he has a podcast too. I'm not entirely sure, but he's not a frequent video maker, but he definitely he makes.
The one I missed out actually when thinking about the YouTubers is Me and My Golf.
Yeah.
I think those guys, to be honest, for me, they do it the best.
They're extremely professional, consistent. I agree with that.
I love how they present it. I love the whole sort of back end sort of online coaching model. I think everything they do is
they do a very good job.
Really good. So
yeah, the success they've had is well deserved.
I would probably have to say for me that's who I would
watch. We need to go see them at some point too.
Eric Anders Lang.
Eric's channel is very good.
So what does he do? Does he do mostly
so Eric
vlogs?
Yeah, but not.
I see some of his stuff.
So I'm probably getting this timeline wrong. So it's Scratch Golf TV, I think. So he started a series. I think that's either his company originally or he is affiliated with them. Adventures in Golf was his thing, and still is. They actually just released the season. It's really good. They go to kind of all sorts of different places like Europe, Asia, film golf courses you probably wouldn't ever see in extreme conditions, stuff like that. He does have his own channel. He does similar stuff on it, but he's doing both at the same time. His channel is really good. It's grown insanely fast, which is well deserved.
Good.
Let's see what I mean. How many times he's in there.
Yeah, so I'm just that's what I was scrolling through and I kept seeing his.
We also love Larry Chung's videos.
Of course we do. We love Larry Chung, full stop.
He's a beauty. I'm just a solid 40 minutes behind. Questions.
Okay.
Lots of Rick Shields fans. That's good.
Yeah.
We'll have to see Rick at some point. He hasn't chimed in on a live in a while. No laying up. Yep, theirs are also very good. They don't make a ton. Their podcast is very good though. They make some videos, but not super often. Bubba's asking about the Ventus. How's it going so far? Now that's on the wall, your 3 models.
Good. Yeah.
Better now that you got the options to go red, blue, black.
Yeah. I think we've been doing a little bit with all of them. The blue's always going to be popular. The black definitely is an option every time we get somebody who's got a bit of speed. The red is kind of someone who likes to kind of feel the shaft a little bit more. So just not quite as stout as the other ones. So good.
We liked it, Bubba. If you didn't see the video, we tested all 3 of them about a month ago, something like that. How is the TXG podcast coming along? Lando's asking. It is in development.
We are very keen to do a podcast.
Yeah. It's one of many things we have planned.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say it's coming out tomorrow, but it's in progress.
Well, we're moving into the season where we can do more on that sort of stuff. Certainly, I mean, I know you're always busy, but I have way more time.
No, mine's a bit seasonal too.
Yeah.
Like I have a little bit of a less busy kind of time coming up myself.
Yeah.
So, which
well,
is
that means good stuff because like last Friday we met on some stuff and we do have a lot more sort of discussions about how we can improve things and different sort of offshoots of this content and what we can do with it.
Yeah. There is a world beyond YouTube, obviously. Although we do love YouTube. Let me grab this from Joe. Joe, I see your question. Hold the bus. Okay. Joe is asking, how good is G410 on low strikes? That's part 1.
Spinny.
Okay, so compared to what's better on low strikes?
Flash.
Okay.
Flash would be good.
Do you think G410 is good on ball speed though on low strikes? Because I find when I'm hitting in here, so it's the spin rating is not as good.
Yeah,
okay.
It will, vertically it will tilt an awful lot.
So Joe was also asking, I remember we tested the PXG Gen 2 driver. We didn't have the PXG tip. Mm-hmm. He's asking if we will revisit that.
Maybe
we'll wait for the next iteration.
I believe I saw there was a tip made up for a PXG Farrow Woods in the build shop today. So
well, I'll tell you what, if anyone wants to see a revisit to that driver, let us know. And if a bunch of people say yes, then we're happy to do it. I liked the driver. I just remember it being really upright. Mm-hmm. But then again, I don't hit as many hooks anymore, so maybe it would be good.
Story. Let's see, there's a bunch of different stuff here. It's there's a lot of chatting amongst everyone here.
Some camaraderie.
Yeah, it's good.
I love it.
That is good.
It's the meeting place.
Matt is asking, does having the same swing weight throughout a set help with consistency?
That's an interesting question.
I would say yes and no. Familiar, certainly, when you're swinging it, there'll be a sort of familiar feel to the mass and how you're moving it. Do you really want to feel the same with a driver as you do with a wedge? Probably not. Are you always swinging the wedge? Are you swinging the wedge with the same intent as the driver? No. So you're up and down the wedges and stuff like that. So I think progression would be better than having it, flat line.
So generally, very generally speaking, heavier swing weights in the wedges and slowly progress to a little bit lighter in the driver.
Yeah, that'd be my preference.
Okay. TXG sessions, Crosby in San Diego.
Yeah.
Yes. When? Not sure, but that's still likely the next time we'll do a TXG sessions. We're going to plan something for that, but I don't know when. But yes, eventually.
Ian, what are your thoughts on Tom Wishon's theory that adjustable driver heads cannot adjust loft because his theory says that whatever a driver face is built to, that is its loft? The tilt of the head, though, I mean, if I went and got you a 9-degree M5 right now and turned it up to 11 and down to 7, I promise you would see a difference in how much face you can see. That head is still a 9-degree head. Like, you're not moving the metal, but you're changing the tilt of it. So you are influencing the loft to change.
It's really not? It's kind of like it's not really an argument. It's just a perception. Obviously, the head doesn't physically.
Yeah, I mean, Tom's kind of one of those guys who will sort of, argue facts. Like he's not wrong. He's absolutely right.
Technically right.
But you will hit that driver higher in that +2 setting than you will if it's in 9s. But he's still right. But he's still not. He's not really educating people, into what is sort of helpful.
I agree with that, because if someone took that and said, they would then think the adjustable hosel is useless, which we can more than say is not the case. It's very, very effective. Okay.
But it's an interesting one, Matt.
Yeah,
it's Tom's kind of one of those guys he's forgot more than most of us will ever know.
True.
When it comes to this stuff, I mean, he's not just an expert; he's a designer, and he's been in that game for years and years. So, but he's probably not dived into as much of this sort of R&D in terms of what's going on at Ping and TaylorMade and Callaway. I know he's done some advising with some of the companies, but there's some real interesting stuff going on behind the scenes with those companies, and
definitely
we're lucky to hear a little bit of that stuff, and it's good.
We are.
Innovation's cool.
From Joshua. So Joshua plays Project X 5.5. It's basically, it seems like he needs to get more height on his ball flight with his irons.
Okay.
I have a feeling what you're going to say is don't chase it using the shaft.
Don't chase it with the shaft, Joshua. I mean, it's trying to get a shaft to deflect in a way that's going to produce a little bit more loft. I mean, you're as well just getting some more loft.
Yeah. And we haven't been able to make hardly any difference in any of the shaft tests. It's been subtle, right?
Trying to rely on the dynamics of a shaft to meet the ball with the right amount of loft versus statically putting the right amount of loft on there, you're going to get more consistent results with the actual static adjustment.
And then after that, you'd progress to like head design. You'd go with a higher launching.
CG, definitely. You know, we can talk things about, you know, golf balls and you know, going with a golf ball. If you really need to hit it higher, going with a golf ball that doesn't quite spin as much, so it will launch higher and spin slightly lower, which will actually make the apex go up a little bit.
Right.
So it's something we see a lot now. Is, you know, the softer the golf ball that we use, the launch comes down, so the flight comes down because of the total friction. Yeah.
Like we're using the Tiger ball today. It's the lowest wedge shots I've probably ever hit.
Definitely. Interesting, isn't it?
Very.
Todd is asking, is PXG worth the money?
That's up to you.
Yeah, it depends who you ask. Some people will say absolutely yes, and other people will say absolutely no. You know, if it's a question of the cost to, you're probably not going to get the
performance
per
dollar.
Yeah, the bang for the buck, isn't it?
So
probably not going to get that because it's you know, it's just flat out. You know, it doesn't significantly outperform, you know, the rest of the clubs in the market. It just doesn't. Are they good? They're very good.
Yeah.
They're very, very good, and they feel good, and they you know, they have a cool look to them, and there's something really unique about using a club that's that not many other people have.
Yeah.
But do you really want to pay 2.5 times? Some people do. Some people really want to pay extra to have it.
100%.
That's just up to you.
Yeah.
Personal preference.
The drivers now are not crazy more expensive.
No.
Are they in line with most other stuff?
They're a little bit more expensive, but it's close. It's only like $50-$60 more than the other.
So
more
that's less
ones.
of a.
Depends if we're talking a Mizuno at $500 and a PXG at $750, $760, something like that.
True. All right. Question about the new Mac Daddy wedges. So having trouble with hitting them thin on a full swing. Had them check the 8-degree, I'm assuming, bounce. The 8-degree bounce was actually 13 degrees of bounce.
Sometimes the problem with these kind of bounce numbers is you know, the stated bounce is more an effective bounce number, like Vokey.
Really?
Yeah, so Vokey talks about that. It's like, you know, you can measure it one way and actually get a different reading from what's actually on the wedge, but bounce is a you know, a number of factors combined.
Right. So does it make sense that
bounce.
a little bit more bounce than you probably needed would lead to a thinner strike?
Yeah.
We saw that, right?
Yeah, definitely.
The lowest bounce was our highest strike point. Highest bounce was our lowest.
Yeah, I mean,
strike
looking
point.
at sole design, looking at the way the leading sort of edge of the golf club interacts with turf in order to sort of make entry a little bit earlier will help. You know, often the thin strike is the club's resistance to entering the turf a little bit earlier.
Gotcha. Can you grind off some of that extra bounce to save buying a new wedge if this one's not really working?
Yeah, you go and see someone who has a you know, the tools, a Burking or something like that, and who can make a modification to the sole. Yeah, you definitely can.
Sean is asking if either of us would play a direct-to-consumer golf ball. If so, which? Would we? I would. I have. I've played golf with a Snell ball. It was good. Played golf with the new Cut DC ball. It was good. And I've played golf with the Vice, whatever the top Vice one is. Played golf with that too. They were all good. So yes, we would. Absolutely.
There was one from Rick is. Can you all answer? He's posted it 284 times.
What's the name?
Riley. I think that's the one. I've not seen.
Oh, Riley's the name. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, I've not seen his other. There you go. So Riley, his wood shot's blown a lot. People tell me it's shaft weight, but the issue still occurs with a 70-gram shaft. Heavier, no. By the way, I swing at 118. Yeah, it's not. It's not your It's not your shaft weight, Riley. It is probably your loft. It's probably your impact location. It's probably the design of the driver that you have. It's probably much more to do with the club head and where you're striking that particular club head. We've not seen an awful lot of variance in golf ball performance off of drivers. We saw a slight fluctuation with one particular golf ball today, but that was a little bit of an anomaly, and it wasn't more than 400 RPMs away from where we normally see it.
Point, eh? Yeah.
So loft and CG location, strike point would be the first places to go with that. Finding the right dance partner. Another video we done today, which was interesting.
Quite interesting.
Was kind of a big sort of endorsement of that particular thought.
100%. Yeah. Joe is asking about the Epic Flash Hybrid versus the TS2 Hybrid. So Epic Flash, we really haven't had a chance to do much with. Can't say for sure, but TS2 with the adjustability and all the testing we've done, it's got to be one of your favorite ones, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Hard to see someone, having that be a really bad performer for them. It's pretty damn good.
For my money, kind of all things considered, I'd say the Titleist of the best hybrids in the market.
The adjustability is, I think, now Ping's is also very good, but
Ping's is good as well.
I do like that Titleist sleeve. I think it's quite smart.
I just feel like that head's a little more versatile in the Titleist.
Yeah,
I do.
Fair. Matt Myers may have a hookup with Tour Edge. We're always interested. Always. Send us whatever you want.
How did we get? I can't remember.
Al sent them an email.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. If they want to send us anything, we are happy to test it. We always are. It's just hard to we can't be on the phone to all these people, but if they are willing to send, we are willing to test.
It's a good one from Christian. You keep going down. Actually, I want to see if you can get.
I'll grab that. Yeah. Quickly, Pro V1X left dash. We're going to try to get our hands on it.
Yeah, we haven't done it yet, Joe.
Yeah, we'll do it as soon as we can. We don't have them quite yet. Did you say?
No, I haven't done that one yet. Thoughts on G410 irons? I know you like the driver quite a lot. Yeah, I actually, do you know what? The for whatever reason, I personally haven't done an awful lot with them, but I know the boys in the bay either side of me. Alex really likes them. Again, it's what you see in front of you. It's the player that you're working with, and if you feel like the forgiveness that G410 offers is what the player needs. But I think it's a solid iron. I think Ping always make a solid everything. Yeah. Never really, other than that G400 Fairway Wood, we kind of ripped on that a little bit last year, didn't we? We could have gave that a little bit of a hard time.
As far as we go, giving someone a hard time, sure,
yeah. Yeah, and we still found the sort of the best, the good bits of it as well. We didn't just kind of pick on the negative parts of it, but I think Ping do everything.
No, you're right. They don't really make anything bad, do they?
I think for me right now, Ping and Titleist look awfully.
They're both having quite a good year.
Really good stuff.
Was that one you wanted to grab, Christian?
Yeah, Christian's down there. He's asking about which brand creates the best possible combo set.
Let me put that up. That's a really good question.
MP20, Titleist, TaylorMade.
Is that way down there?
Yeah, I actually scrolled all the way at the bottom.
Okay, well, let's just read it. So Christian is asking basically what company and what models would make the best combo set.
Yeah.
And why?
Obviously the only company that makes an actual combo set is TaylorMade. So with the 760s. So Titleist don't make a combo set.
So you're saying like a set of irons that doesn't. Well, you buy them and they're already comboed. Yeah,
you're going to have to take an MP20 set and you're going to have to combo, the blade,
HMBs or something.
HMB. You're going to have to do the MMC. Yeah. So there'll be subtle differences to it. I think if you comboed HMB and MMC, it'd be nice, but you might see a little bit of a difference in transition between the irons. Very small. The Titleist, if you went from a T100 into a 200, you would get a feel difference, no question. You get quite a big feel difference.
The blade to the CB is an easy transition, but that market is tiny.
Yeah,
it's doable. Strixon irons probably would be a good one, eh? 785s to
and again, You will notice a bit of a difference in the feel, but not in a bad way. Probably you'll feel the 585 becoming a little bit hotter, and
face is cast, right?
Yeah.
Probably, I mean, if you want a combo irons, there's probably never been more options to do so, I would think.
Definitely. Sorry, I'm going to just...
No worries. You want to take a couple more and we'll sign off? Appreciate everyone signing on. This is good.
No, this has been great. This is actually, to be honest, this might be one of the best lives I think we've done.
It's really good.
There's a lot of good questions tonight.
Lots of good questions. Okay, let's take a couple more. You grab one, I'll grab one.
Okay, let me hop back on here. Scroll down. So Joe Lane is saying G410 LST spins. Did you get that one? That was.
We grabbed one similar to that. Let me go down and grab it. My scrolling hand. Let me take this from Nick really quick. A lot of people have asked about this Orca Golf. Tons of people. We have not tested it. I have heard of it.
Yep.
Again, if they want to send us stuff, we'll test it.
They're more of a component company, Orca.
Yep.
Haven't done much with them.
Christians we got, right? We got Christians.
Thunder Weasel is asking, do you guys think that the fitting numbers from a big box store like PGA Superstore, Golf Galaxy are reliable? I think it depends on the technology. I know I can't speak for Golf Galaxy because I don't know anyone inside. I can tell you one person who works for them. I do know that some people who work at PGA Superstores. They're investing quite a lot in the training of their staff and the technology that they have. So nice. I think you'd probably get a pretty decent representation at PGA Superstore. I think they're going to be probably the best of the big box stores.
Think so?
Yeah, I would think so.
Nice.
And these things are, you can have a the best fitting company in the world in the top of the door, but if the person who's taking your fitting isn't maybe the most knowledgeable or kind of it's not the best training, then you're not going to have the best experience. It doesn't matter what company it is.
Yeah, like even if you're going to go to PGA Superstore, hopefully you've been referred to a fitter there that does a good job.
Yeah.
I think Joe, this is just a follow-up maybe.
Yeah.
So Joe, the LST is a little bit spinnier on a low strike. The Sub-Zero Epic Flash would be lower.
So when this was from earlier on. So the when you were saying G410, I didn't know it was the LST we were talking about. LST doesn't spin nearly as much as the standard one. Because you remember when I had both and I switched into the LST?
Yes.
Because I was getting the odd one that just kicked up a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't get that with the LST.
Right.
So Joe, no, LST would
better.
be way more stable on low strikes than the standard version.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Do you think Epic Flash is still lower spin on a low strike though?
Yes, yeah, I would say so. TS3 is very good as well on those low strikes. Yeah,
sure. TS4 would be even lower spin.
And PXGX are best for low strikes. I don't know much. I haven't tested extensively enough with the PXG driver to know how good they are in low strikes.
All right, let's grab one more of your choosing.
One more. Let's see.
And it's time for dinner.
Guys, apologies if it seems like there's way more questions than normal tonight. It seems like there's a ton.
We're doing our best.
Yes.
If you don't get them this week, we'll probably do live next week as well. There's one here from Johnny. Can we take this one?
Yeah.
Okay, so good question. Shaft length. So someone who's a little bit shorter, 5'7", shortening the club length, half an inch from standard length, would that help? Generally speaking, talking about distance, but let's take that more as strike.
You know what, Johnny? In all honesty, you might actually gain distance. I mean, I've had players who've went shorter and actually swung it faster, made better contact, and the ball speed differences through the roof. It really, it comes down to obviously your ability to create good solid contact. That's really what it comes down to. And once you start feeling that, generally you get a little spike in confidence and speed.
That's a good point.
So you actually start to kind of relax a little bit and then swing with a little bit more speed. So you generally speaking, if you need to go half inch shorter, you won't lose any distance and you'll actually probably gain distance.
Good.
Yeah.
All right.
Excellent. That was really good, guys.
Great
really, really good. I think that was some of the best questions, certainly that I can remember from any of them. So
yeah, there was lots of nice little talking points.
If we missed a bunch, which we have, please kind of save them for next time,
or throw them in the
throw
comments.
them in below.
Yeah, we do monitor the comments.
Yep.
I think we'll do it live next week.
Yeah, definitely. It seems like there's been a bit of a pent up.
Well, we haven't done it in a while.
I know we have. To be fair, it's been well over a month. Agenda for the week. What do we have? We have. Where's that? What do you got there? That's.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So we have the EXP01, so the new prototype golf ball from Titleist.
Tested
which
those.
We tested. We have this little beauty, which is the new KBS TD driver shaft. So KBS are no longer just making iron shafts; they're making driver shafts
graphite
as well. Yeah.
We did the Patterson putter shaft, which we showed you earlier.
Yep.
We did
the
Tiger golf ball from Bridgestone.
Yes, which was the first ever time we've tested a Bridgestone golf ball.
So that will be popular, I assume.
Really, really impressed with that golf ball.
I thought it was great. Yeah.
Really impressed with that. I thought it was fantastic.
She did a little Tennessee white and orange testing.
Yes, we did.
That was the last one.
Yep. Let's touch quickly on Patreon before we dive off.
Yeah.
Guys, we're kind of trying to almost kind of stimulate the patrons to sort of get utilising their memberships a little bit more.
For sure. Yeah.
Feel like whether it be everyone's been busy or whatever, but we want more interaction in there. If you're in the premium sort of gold and platinum tiers, is it diamond? Is it platinum? The top tiers anyway.
Basically any tier where you're emailing the fitter.
Yeah.
So for those that don't know what we're talking about, that's basically where we get obviously a million questions through emails and stuff like that. So if you want basically an online fitting experience with, at certain levels, Ian or with the rest of the TXG fitting team, that's basically where you can have this experience. And there's no limit to it. You basically use us as sort of your consultants on a regular basis.
I mean, we are seeing some really interesting results when we're doing, if you want to call it, virtual fits or kind of online fits. So we've had a lot of people sending us data. We've been making recommendations based on some consultation. If we get certain information and we can get some data, we can make some really educated, sort of, recommendations for you guys. So the Patreon sort of platform allows you guys to do that. So we understand it's not going to be easy, and a lot of people would love to come and kind of visit TXG or come and work with one of our guys, but it's not always feasible. Patreon is the place to take advantage of that and send us your data. We'll get back to you and obviously have a little bit of a back and forth on that sort of stuff.
I think it's just, so the reason we're Patreon is the platform, but I would call it's like a TXG online membership. It's how you can kind of access the fitters and stuff like that. So it's been good. I think we've met a lot of people that watch videos, great feedback, great interaction, and if you want an online fitting, that is the place to go.
Absolutely. Yeah. Quick one. I'm just one last question I just saw coming in here, guys. What causes the spin axis to tilt to the right if the face to path is closed? Heel strike. So gear effect would be that. So I know that's sometimes when you see especially TrackMan numbers and you see the face to path was say closed, but the ball is kind of going the other way. It's all gear effect from there.
Very interesting.
Yes, sir.
All right, good live. That was fun.
Yeah, loved it. Excellent, guys. Lots more coming, lots more product. Keep sending in your suggestions. We are hitting a really busy season for us.
Yes.
We've got a few weeks together. We've got one little break. I've got a trip in a couple of weeks' time, but after that, we'll be going solid probably
we'll be
for...
filming. Well, out of the next 2 months, we're really only away twice. So we will be here filming a lot.
Yes, we will.
All right.
Thanks so much for joining us. Yeah.